Seeing as I haven't watched. Hello? 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 Uh, is it on? Is this thing on? Hello?
Yeah!
Is it on? Hello?
Yeah!
Hello? Is it? Hello?
Yeah!
It's Sunday, everybody. This is the Above It All program. Welcome to the show today. Today is Sunday, the sunneth day, the day of the sun, and so on and so forth. So we have a show lined up today for y'all. And we're gonna be doing a show today. And today is Sunday, actually, for those of you that aren't. Today is Sunday for those of you that they don't know what the day is, but it's Sunday today. For those people that know, that don't know the day, if they know the day, then they don't need my day, the daily Sunday show today.
Yeah!
And so it's everyone get ready for Sunday show. Sunday is today, February. It's February. It's do you ever hear people that say February? It's not February, it's February. And now it's Sunday, and today is the day that I'm doing a show, doing a program here. And today is February, and I'm doing a program today for February 5th, and I'm doing the 5th show today for February 5th. And Merry Sunday, everybody. And happy Sunday to the people that live here. And it's Sunday, and this is and oh, all right. Let's see here. Yeah, okay, so I woke up this morning, and I checked the news because I do a news show, so I decided to check the news this morning, and I woke up, and after I woke up, I was bombarded with headlines like this. Okay, check this out. When Japanese balloons threatened American skies during World War II. So keep in mind, I wake up. I did a lot of drugs yesterday, so I'm in a little bit of a haze. And so I'm gonna, and I'm like, what the fuck? Like, did a nuke go off or something? Why are we talking about like fucking World War II? And then I remember, oh right, the balloon bullshit. Oh yeah, that's like, so apparently the entire mainstream media is just like they're literally trying to like start a war because of a fucking balloon. Like, okay, all right. A menacing balloon from Asia. I love menacing and Asia in the same sentence there. Really makes me feel like we've advanced a lot since 1944. A menacing balloon from Asia floated in the skies over Montana. The year was 1944. The balloon, with a small incendiary bomb attached, drifted down to a forested area near Kalispell, Montana, crumpling into a heap. 2 loggers found it there in December 1944. The FBI and the Army Air Force arrived to study the strange contraption, 33.5 feet wide, made of laminated paper. Writing on the balloon told them it was Japanese and had been completed a few weeks earlier at a Japanese... Like, yo, okay, history lesson. I'm down with history lessons, okay? I love history. But like, what's the point here? Like, whenever someone's trying to tell you something about history, typically there's a point. What is the point here? That there's balloons in the sky? Like, that's the point of the story. Let's keep going. The U.S. Office of Censorship had asked journalists not to report on the balloon bomb incidents so that the Japanese would not know they had successfully reached the U.S. mainland, and their request was honored. But after the deaths in Oregon, the War Department issued a because we used to have a War Department. I love that, by the way. By then, Japan had stopped launching balloons, though they continued to be found in and over the United States through the summer. Because of the news blackout in the United States, the Japanese did not know the results of the balloon attacks. Now, keep in mind, this is no internet. But again, I ask you, what is the point of the story? Why now, of all times, are we learning about the history of balloon attacks in this country? Right? Like, what is the point of doing this now, of all times? Right? I'm not sure. The balloon's paths were subject to the vagaries of the wind, making them very hard to control. Yeah, I mean, isn't that the fucking point? But anyway, so we have this story. One attempt to take down a balloon went particularly awry. This week, with attention to the suspected Chinese spy balloon over the United States, the U.S. Naval Institute posted on Facebook when the USS New York was sailing towards Iwo Jima in 1945, the crew spotted a silver sphere flying high overhead that seemed to follow the battleship for hours. Concerned that the shiny orb might be a Japanese balloon weapon, the captain ordered it to be shot down. After the guns failed to score a hit, a navigator realized they were attacking Venus. Yo, that's funny as fuck. But okay. Now, what I learned from that story is these motherfuckers are dumb as hell. That's what I learned from that story. But why are we learning about this? What's happening? Oh, balloons almost blew our shit up in 1944? What's happening here? All right, so let's switch over to this. Now, this is on Fox News. Chinese spy balloon is a Sputnik moment for America. This is an opinion piece by Representative Michael Waltz. Like Sputnik, the Chinese spy balloon has drastically changed Americans' sense of security. Now, I'm speaking on behalf of all Americans here. No one's sense of security has been altered in any capacity by this. Like, I'm just letting everyone know. Anybody who's like, America's unsecure because of the balloon, they're thinking America's unsecure because of the border. Like, they're thinking America's unsecure because we elected a Democratic president. Like, these people are fucking stupid anyway, right? So, but why is it the mainstream media is just printing all of these bizarre stories here? But let's read what Representative Michael Waltz has to say. In 1957, again with this fucking shit, the sense of security in the United States had come to accept after America's victory in World War II drastically changed. The NBC radio broadcast on the night of October 4 told its audience, quote, "Listen now for the sound that forevermore separates the old from the new," as the sound of the Sputnik satellite came through the airwaves. The moment didn't just signify a groundbreaking technological achievement, with the launch of the first satellite into orbit. It also conveyed to the rest of the world that the Soviet Union was outpacing the United States. Now again, I see Sputnik. Now again, I was not alive in 1957, but I see that shit and I'd be like, oh shit, that's cool. We're going into space, motherfucker. Right? But then Americans are fucking stupid psychopathic freaks, and they're like, what do you mean we're going into space? The Russians did it. Like, bro, what the fuck? Human beings have never been into space before, and you're making this shit about racism? Like, like what? Like, but again, Americans are dumb, and so is the world. But Americans are still dumb. This is what why are we reading articles about, like, spy balloons in the 40s? Why fucking balloon Sputniks in the 50s? What the fuck are these? Like, do they actually think... Now, I ask you this genuine question. Do Republicans genuinely believe that this balloon is like a watershed moment for politics or something? Is that what they're trying to manifest? Like, every American's entire life just changed because a balloon fucking flew through the country? Like... Seriously, like, this is what it seems like. This is what it seems like. These, like, warmongering freak shows are like, oh, fuck. We can get Americans to support another war. Look, the balloon. What? Like, is this a joke? You know? Like, I'm serious, man. What the fuck? I love this. A silver lining in the Biden administration allowing the Chinese spy balloon to violate our airspace is that the American public has received a similar wake-up call to the brazenness of Chinese... A wake-up call? A wake-up call? Dude, I'm serious, man. We are going through a pandemic where millions of motherfuckers are dropping dead and tens of millions of motherfuckers are becoming disabled for life. And a balloon is going to cause a wake-up call? I got news for you. There is no call. There is no phone connection, and Americans are in comas, okay? No one gives a shit. And if anything is going to wake an American up to the realities of the world, let me tell you, it's not going to be a fucking balloon, because this shit is fucking bullshit. It doesn't make any fucking sense. A balloon is going to wake America up to do what? Again, what is the point of the... What is the point here? So Americans are woken up? They're woke now? Wait a second. What the fuck? Is this guy saying that Americans are woke? And that's a good thing? I can't believe this, man. Holy shit. They didn't need to send a balloon given their rapidly expanding constellation of spy satellites, but I'm glad they did. It was a very visible symbol of what so many of us had been ringing the alarm bells about for years. But until last week, the magnitude and sheer scale of the Chinese operations were often cleverly hidden behind the scenes. Like, I'm serious, though. A balloon. Like, did you see videos of them shooting the balloon down? I woke up, I was on shrooms yesterday. I did a lot of mushrooms. And I decided to check Twitter. Bad idea. Never do that. I always put my phone in airplane mode, but I was on the computer for a moment. I looked at Twitter. And people were, like, sharing videos on Twitter of, like, shooting the balloon down. And, like, I saw this one video of motherfuckers, like, they're cheering. They're going, like, woo! Like, at a balloon being, like, I'm serious, like... China condemns U.S. attack on surveillance balloon as overreaction. Well, I'm sure that China saying, I think you guys are having a little too much fun with this. I'm sure that that's going to alleviate tensions. A balloon! A balloon! I mean, these people are freaking the fuck out over a balloon. I mean, that's, to me, it's impressive. I mean, this is impressive. Okay. China condemned the U.S. military's decision on Saturday to shoot down a suspected Chinese surveillance balloon that flew over the U.S. last week. They shot it down. They shot down the balloon. They shot it down. America. China strongly disapproves of and protests against the U.S. attack on a civilian unmanned airship by force, the Chinese Foreign Ministry said in a statement on Sunday morning, per the South China Morning Post. The U.S.'s use of force is a clear overreaction and a serious violation of international practice, the ministry added, noting that Beijing reserves the right to make further responses that are necessary. Over a balloon. A balloon. American politicians and American media is trying to drum up the war drums over a balloon. A balloon. I'm not even, like... It's a balloon. Like, I really don't know what other commentary is necessary, right? Other than just saying, this is a balloon. Like the entire argument rests on, this is a balloon. Nothing else is required. I don't need evidence. I don't need an argument, right? I don't need witnesses. All I have to do is just say, this is a balloon, and you should immediately understand what the fuck's going on, right? What? You're telling me we're about to go to war over a balloon? We're shooting balloons down, like scientific experiments? Like, is a kid in Canada gonna shoot up a model rocket, and then Americans are gonna shoot that shit down? Like, what the fuck? It's a balloon. It's a balloon. Like, just in case you didn't know, just so we're all on the same page, this is a balloon. A high altitude surveillance balloon first entered U.S. airspace in Alaska on January 28. After briefly traveling through Canadian airspace, it returned to the U.S. via Idaho on Jan 31. It's almost like borders are made up garbage. Like, the idea, like, this whole thing is hilarious to me. Like, because, again, borders are made up garbage. But, like, now, keep in mind, the balloon is just flowing through the jet stream or whatever the fuck. Like, it's just going through the weather, right? They're in Canadian airspace, United States airspace, and then it went to Canada, and then it went back. There is no such thing as Canadian airspace, right? There is no such thing as Canada. There is no such thing as the United States. Like, okay, I'm just asking. Like, are we all just, like, pretending that the magical lines in the sand are, like, giant force fields? You know? Like, you get on my side of the force field. Like, is this a video game? Like, what are we doing here? It's a scientific fucking weather balloon. Like, they're trying to, I don't know, they're trying to do some experiment. And even if they are spying on us, and I don't believe that, by the way, that this balloon is a spy vehicle. They have satellites everywhere. They probably have a backdoor into all of our cell phones. Why would they need a fucking balloon to spy on the United States? Like, can someone remind me, right? Like, what year it is? Like, in 1944, right? Let's go back to this. When the Japanese, right? In 1944, they did not have satellites. They did not have smartphones. They did not have hackers. So a balloon as either a spying device or a weapon made more sense. Right? What the fuck? Like, I'm serious. In what universe is this a spy balloon? Because it's certainly not this one. I want to know. Which universe? Is this one? They're sending, like, unless, okay, here's an idea. The spy balloon was actually sent by the Chinese in 1812. And then it traveled through, like, a slipstream warp gate and came out in 2023. Right? Because that's the only way I'm going to believe that that's a spy balloon. That's the only possible explanation you could have to give me that would make me go, all right, maybe it's actually a spy balloon. Because why the fuck would it be a spy balloon when they've got satellites and they've got smartphones? Right? Like, I'm serious. We got some dumbass motherfuckers here. Beijing confirmed on Friday that the balloon was Chinese, but claimed it was primarily used for meteorological, I always struggle with that word because I have dyslexia, research, and had been blown off course. Had it been blown off course? I mean, is there even such a thing as on course when we're talking about the goddamn wind? Like, but okay. The Chinese side regrets the unintended entry of the airship into U.S. airspace. Now, again, two things. Not an airship. Also, there is no such thing as U.S. airspace, but again, okay. Due to the force of mesure, a ministry spokesperson said. However, American officials have maintained that the balloon was surveilling strategic sites within the U.S. Oh my god, I didn't even see this. I didn't even see this shit because I tuned out of the news yesterday. Secretary of State Tony Blinken postponed his trip to Beijing. He postponed the trip. Why? A balloon. This is now a geopolitical incident. A balloon. Yo, U.S. works to recover debris and intelligence. Debris and intelligence from downed Chinese spy balloon. Yo, they're swimming into the ocean to recover, like... I want you to sit with this one, man. Like... This is one of those things where... This is what I would consider to call a media circus, right? Every now and then you have an event where the media just don't shut the fuck up, right? And, you know, that happens oftentimes after mass shootings, right? Like the entire Donald Trump presidency, right? January 6th was a media circus, right? You know, you can say Elon taking over Twitter, that's a media circus. But, like, I have never seen such a profound... like, delta between the story and the circus. Like, this shit is insane. Okay, so fact, data. A weather balloon flew over the United States. Result, every mainstream news article is talking about war with China. Right? This is fucking, like... Now, if we want to talk about this on the comedy lens, like, we're all nihilists, we're all watching the end of the world, and, you know, if you live in the United States, you got a front row seat to the freak show, right? Then this is great. This is entertaining as fuck. But if we want to talk about this in, like, a lens of analysis of, like, are we going to be able to save the world? Are we going to be able to beat capitalism? Are we going to be able to stop the corporations and end war? And I got news for you. No. Why? Because we're fucking stupid. We're dumb. Humans are dumb. They're dumb motherfuckers. I don't know what to tell you. They're dumb. Okay? Full stop. You know, that's it. Period. They're dumb. Human beings are too fucking stupid. They're just stupid motherfuckers. Like, I don't even know what... Like, this is some crazy ass motherfucking shit. They're fucking trying to get... Jesus. The Chinese Foreign Ministry hit back on the U.S. on Saturday in a statement alleging that some politicians and the media have hyped up the situation in order to attack and smear China. Oh, you don't fucking say. You don't fucking say. So, on this one, I'm going with China. Hey, I'm sorry. Does an anti-American decide with China on the balloon conspiracy? I'd say, I hope it is, because I fucking hate America, but, you know, whatever. But goddamn, man. Some crazy ass shit. Like, I'm just trying to, like... I'm trying to come up with, like, some cap for that story that I just did. And I don't think there is, other than, like, it's a balloon. You know? Like, it's a balloon. Right? Like... You know what I mean? Like, it's a fucking, you know... But let's talk about good news. Enough about war, violence, and death. Let's shift into a heartwarming and wholesome news story that should make everybody just much happier in their day-to-day life. And that is, I introduce to you Officer Down. Off-duty NYPD officer fighting for his life after being shot during a robbery. So apparently this just happened. An officer is fighting for his life. I mean, again, I just want to start this off by saying, of course, this goes without saying, I'm obviously praying for the best possible outcome here. If anyone wants to sit back to me, clasp their hands in prayer, we are all at the Above It All podcast industries. We're talking and praying for the best possible outcome to occur in this incident. We know that the officer is still alive, and we know that they're fighting for their life. And we're praying that the best possible outcome comes out of this, okay? So, a 5-year veteran of the New York Police is fighting for his life after being shot Saturday night during a robbery, officials said. The officer, who was off-duty, attempted to buy a car on Ruby Street in Brookline after the details of the purchase were arranged on social media, police said. When the officer arrived, the suspect immediately displayed a gun and announced the robbery, police said. Who is the suspect? We don't really know. Gunfire was exchanged. The officer was hit and taken to the hospital where he is in critical condition. Now, I just want to say this. A lot of people talk about how being a police officer is dangerous. You know? Like, oh, it's one of the most dangerous jobs in the world. But what is this? What is this story? Think about what the story is. Someone was shot during a robbery. A cop wasn't shot. They were off duty. They're just a normal person. It's more dangerous to just be a civilian going through the streets in America than it is to be a cop. When you're a cop, people are fucking afraid of you. You got guns. You got fucking armor. You got this fucking badge that makes people like fucking pee themselves. When you're a regular everyday civilian, yeah, you might get shot. It's more dangerous walking around and trying to buy a car than it is to be a police officer. That's what really needs to be understood with this story. And I don't know why like the fucking autoplay is some stupid dead cops from like what 2 years ago, 1 year ago. Who fucking cares this shit, man? Like, can you plaster some more dead cops on there? Like, we've seen those dead cops already, you know? Mayor Eric Adams said that the officer was conducting a simple errand and was shot. Adams said that they would catch the person responsible for the attack. Now, here's a question. If you and I were shot, would the mayor of the city spend all this time saying, oh, we're going to find the culprit? People are shot and a lot of people are killed every day in New York City. Does Eric Adams do press conferences? Oh, fucking Derek that works for the fucking Pizza Hut got shot. Well, I hope they're not working for Pizza Hut in New York City, but either way. Oh, fucking Lindsay, who fucking, you know, is working at the bean farm, got shot. You know? Oh, fucking, you know, Damien, the guy working at the fucking steel mill right outside the city, got shot. Let's get our top men on it. How come a cop gets shot? All of a sudden, it's a huge deal. You know what I mean? Anyway, officer down. I know that the person who committed this crime, if you can call it that, a burglar, I know that they probably did not know that this was a police officer, but, you know, every once in a while you get lucky. But anyway, once again, we're all here at Above It All Industries. We're praying for the best possible outcome. So please take a moment of silence. Everybody clasp your hands. Is it, you know, what's the best way to clasp your hands? Like, I always like doing it this way, but, you know, we're praying for the best possible outcome here. And I hope the Holy Spirit is listening. Is it the Spirit or the ghost or the there's different kinds of ways people say it differently. I mean, I'm going to need some Holy Spirits after listening to this news story. I'm so distraught. But, you know, whatever. I got news, by the way. I'm petting a Max dog. Max, I'm petting you. What are you going to do about it, Max? What are you going to do about it, Max? So, while we're talking about very silly things, let me drink some coffee for 8 to 15 seconds real quick. Hold up. So, I got another one of these headlines that's really just going to make you, you know, if you haven't seen this, I'm sure you have. It's some really dumbass fucking horseshit, okay? So let's check this out. The GOP's horrors of socialism resolution was bait, and Dems took it. Now, I just want to say, this is from MSNBC. I actually do agree with the point that this article is making. I do think it is actually a good point here. But if you didn't see it, there was this bullshit where the Republicans brought up like literally virtue signaling. I mean, like we're talking about congressional virtue signaling is what this is. They brought up a resolution to denounce the horrors of socialism. Now, of course, anyone with more than 2 brain cells understands that capitalism has killed far more people than socialism. And most of the problems with socialist countries are because of corruption, and corruption spawns what? From capitalism. People wanting to compete and make more money and gain more power than other people, right? That's not really compatible with socialism. It's also a fact. We've never reached socialism, right? We've had governments that have tried and failed, and oftentimes they failed because of capitalistic elements within them, right? So all of that, you know, withstanding, even then, let's assume you want to take the dumb fuck opinion of socialism, like China's socialist, goddamn Russia's socialist. I mean, you know, they're not really, and they theoretically, maybe, if you want to be stupid, they could have been called socialist 31, 35 years ago, whatever. But they're not. They never really were. But, well, okay. But let's assume, all right, we're taking the American definition of socialism, which is not the definition. It's just, you know, it's like the American definition of chicken, right? It's actually just chlorinated fucking juice, okay? But anyway, even if that's the case, companies, synonymous, really. But countries that have capitalism as their first and foremost method of, economy, have killed more people. I mean, it's just a fact, right? Like, I don't even know what to tell you, right? If you exclude all quote unquote socialist countries, and again, calling them socialist, big red flag, but if you exclude all of those countries, capitalistic countries have killed more people. That's just a fact. It's a fact. 40,000 people a year die in this country, before the pandemic, died in this country because they didn't have health insurance. That adds up. That adds up. They didn't have health insurance. They died? Why didn't they have health insurance? They weren't rich enough. Why weren't they rich enough? Because capitalism fucked them over. Million plus dead motherfuckers from COVID. Why are they dead? Because capitalism forced them to go to work. You know, we can talk more about how many people have been killed by capitalism, especially if you take a grander look over the last 150, 200 years. You can see a lot of dead motherfuckers from capitalism, right? But again, is the United States going to have a resolution to denounce the horrors of capitalism? Of course not, right? So if you want to take the dumb fuck approach that socialism and capitalism are equally as bad, again, you're a dumbass if you believe that, but a lot of people do because a lot of people are fucking stupid. Even then, again, capitalism is worse, right? But wouldn't you want to be the enlightened centrist and say, yeah, all extremist forms of economy are bad, right? Capitalism is as extreme as, you know, attaching a bomb to yourself and blowing up a World Trade Center. I don't know what to tell you, man. Like, that is extremist shit. Homeless people dying in the streets because it got a little too cold outside? That's fucking crazy, okay? House Republicans introduced a measure this week calling for Congress to condemn the horrors of socialism. It was bait, and most Democrats took it. The 109 Democrats who joined every Republican, including, by the way, the new minority leader and Democratic Party leader in the House. So good job, dumb fuck. The Republicans, again, let's look at the Republican Congress, the Republican House so far. Week 1, the force the vote disaster. Week 2, just yelling and crying. Week 3, George Santos, and then kicking Ilhan Omar off of committees. And then week 4, they're denouncing. And by week 4, the Democrats have already buckled. They're already gone. Week 4, they're gone. They gave up. What happened to this resistance bullshit? Remember when #resist? They gave up. Took less than a month, and they already gave up. The 109 Democrats who joined every Republican in the House to vote in favor of a non-binding resolution lent their voice to the initiative, but their support will have no tangible effect on policy. Still, it is a victory for the GOP, which has succeeded in a strategic effort to jam a wedge in the Democratic caucus, further stigmatize the left, and cook up some cynical ads for the next election cycle. That's literally all they're doing? I love this. Look at this, fucking more from MSNBC Daily. I almost want to read this just to get triggered. Rep. Ilhan Omar hit not 1, not 2, but 3 anti-Semitic tropes. She had to go. I mean, again, that whole thing. I don't think I made a video about it yet, but Jesus fucking Christ. The whole Ilhan Omar is an anti-Semite thing. I don't even know where to begin, with that fucking colossal pile of horse shit. But anyway, let's get back to this one. The resolution states that socialist ideology necessitates a concentration of power that has time and time again collapsed into communist regimes. Now, again, it's just illiterate. So socialism leads to power, and then once the power is at the top, it becomes communism. Okay, let me read this again. Socialist ideology necessitates a concentration of power that has time and time again collapsed into communism. Now, first of all, socialism and communism are essentially the same fucking word. It's a synonym. Commune, community, communication. What is that? People. When you communicate, when you socialize, they're synonyms, okay? Socialism and communism are the same thing, okay? They mean the same thing. They're identical. Now, you can make an argument that, in context of the world, they slightly mean different things. You can make that argument, but definitionally, they're the same fucking thing, okay? But with that in mind, think about the United States government. 109 Democrats just don't know basic English. This is basic English. Social. That's basic English. The word social, when did you first learn how to use the word social? When you were 2, 3 years old? I don't know. Social. It's a very 109 Democrats and all Republicans don't know what the word means. But okay. Socialism. So you have socialism, right? Which, by the way, has never happened, right? It's no one has ever achieved socialism. But let's say you have a socialist government, whatever that means. It's not defined. But then the government is so socialized at the top, right? The top, the concentration of power at the top is communism. I'm saying, I'm trying to wrap my fucking head around this one, okay? So, what if I said that 10 families, I should say, in the whole planet, all humans on Earth, have more wealth than the bottom 60% combined? What if I told you that? Is that communism? What if I told you that the richest people in the country paid no taxes? Is that communism? Like, I'm trying to, right? I'm trying to figure this out. So socialism, part 1, socialism. Part 2, power, corruption at the top. Part 3, communism. So it becomes communism. I'm sorry for spending so much time on this. But this is like a tongue twister. This is like a puzzle. I'm solving a Rubik's Cube or something. This is like Hellraiser shit. Okay, I'm trying to solve this puzzle box. Okay, so people somehow in a government become socialist, right? Something happens. It's like the Big Bang. We don't really know. Something happens. It's socialist now. And then because it's socialist, there's corruption that accumulates and power is concentrated at the top of society. And then once that happens, then magically it becomes communism. So, okay. Now now that we finally understand that, let's move on, okay? But it deliberately makes no distinction between those regimes and more contemporary leftist projects with commitments to democracy. Now, what is democracy? Democracy is everyone has a say. There are no democracies on Earth, by that logic. If everyone has equal say, that would be communism. What is communism? Everyone's needs are met. There's a horizontal power structure. No one has more power than anyone else. That's communism, right? So what is democracy? Everyone has a say. Now you can say you can have a democratic country that's not necessarily communistic. That's true. But they're very similar themes. Either way, we don't live in a world where everyone has an equal voice. In a world where billionaires can purchase politicians, I can't purchase a politician. Therefore, we don't have equal say. Therefore, it's not a democracy. Right? We've never had a democracy ever at any point in human history. Ever. Outside of maybe like your household, like you vote on what you want to order for takeout or something. That's democracy. But on like a society-wide, like big culture, we've never really had a democracy. And I'm going to go out on a limb and say we probably never will. To have a true democracy, you have to abolish coercion and manipulation. Like, we still live in a world where boomers on Facebook are swinging elections based on like ivermectin, right? So it's not, we don't live in a democracy. So we got to be really, these words mean something. Like, a lot of these words like are so drenched in like political fucking garbage that people just don't know, like they forget what the word means. But like these words have meaning, and we should use them, because otherwise, why even say the words? Why say socialism and communism and democracy if they don't mean anything? Right? For example, in this resolution, Stalin is puzzlingly grouped together with the late Venezuelan president Hugo Chavez. Stalin was infamous for horrific autocratic repression, which included mass imprisonment and executions. By contrast, Chavez operated as the popular head of an affluent modern democracy in Latin America, and he did a great deal of transformative economic good for his country with his interpretation of socialist principles, even while under siege from the United States. This isn't to defend everything Chavez did, blah, 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 blah. Now, you can read the rest of this, I guess, but this article just basically goes into why the whole thing is a little silly. But I do agree the Democrats are fucking stupid. I mean, I feel like I don't need to read the rest of this. But Democrats are fucking stupid. The 109 Democrats that went along with that, I mean, again, why give the Republicans a win? Why not say we're all just going to vote present because this bill is virtue signaling garbage? What if Hakeem Jeffries was like, all right, everyone in the caucus, we're all going to vote present. Not yay, not nay. Everyone's, the United Democratic Caucus, vote present with one single message. This is a waste of our time. This is identity politics. This is virtue signaling. Let's actually get to the kitchen table issues. That would be a powerful message from Hakeem Jeffries. He didn't do that? Why? Because he's a fucking dumbass, right? Like, these people are fucking ridiculously stupid. Like, they're just dumb. Like, Democrats are dumb. Like, Republicans are dumb, but at least they know how to play the game. Democrats are dumb, and they can't even play the game. They're just fucking dumb. Like, they're just dumb motherfuckers. I don't know what to tell you. Democrats are dumb motherfuckers. Republicans are dumb motherfuckers that really know how to win. They know how to win. Okay? Democrats, they know how to lose, right? That's a worthwhile lesson to be learned, right? How to lose, right? But anyway, and they're just dumb. They're dumb. They're so fucking stupid. Like, they're just dumb, man. I hate Democrats. Holy shit. Dumbass motherfucking shit. Jesus fucking Christ. Well, are we still virtue signaling about Joseph Stalin when there's a giant part of the Republican Party that worships Adolf Hitler? Like, and we're whinging about Joseph fucking Stalin and the horrors of socialism, and then socialism gets corrupt, and once it's corrupted, it's communism. Whatever, man. Anyway, that's all the news stories I got for you. I feel like I covered the news. That's the news, right? That's what's happening in the world. Right? But, we're hitting the free form hour. And by hour, I mean like 15 minutes. So, first of all, everyone, if anyone has any questions, comments, or concerns, QCock. My friends, questions, comments, or concerns, post your cocks in the chat, as well as your Q's down below or on the side or wherever. I don't know where the fuck these Q's are being cocked. But anyway, yesterday I completed a months-long project. I'm blogging. I finished watching every episode of Breaking Bad while on mushrooms. I have a lot to say. In fact, I might do a series review of that show as a separate thing from this show. I don't know if I can just off the cuff say everything I want to say about it. But I will say I watched the last 3 episodes in one sitting. So I watched 14, 15, and 16 of season 5 yesterday. And damn, man, I'm telling you, watching that show on mushrooms is hard. It's a challenge because that shit is fucking anxiety inducing. Oh man, it's anxiety inducing. Like that fucking scene when Walter like comes home after like Skylar thinks that fucking Hank like, you know, handcuffed him or whatever. That shit, I was losing my mind. It was hard to watch. But I'm going to be moving on to Better Call Saul pretty soon, so I'm looking forward to that. But damn, I can't recommend that show enough. I mean, it really is the best show of all time. I mean, just, you know, the whole universe is just, it's so great. Anyway, so I recommend doing that. And, you know, be careful and all that stuff. But that was what I did yesterday. And, you know, I did some other stuff. I played some games. I pet my dog. You know, in fact, I might pet my dog again. Where the hell is this dog? Look at this Max. I mean, are you seeing this shit? Look at this. Look at this Max. Max, we're looking at you. Max, we're looking at you. Look at him. Look at this dog. I don't really know anything about The Last of Us. I'm aware it's a game and a TV show, but that's all I know. I love the bit where Hank works it out. I mean, while you're on mushrooms, I mean, I gotta be honest, the show is anxiety inducing, like, all the way through. It's like the whole thing is a bad trip, but that's the kind of stuff I'm into. But yeah, like, when Hank, like, fucking figures it out, he sits on the toilet and reads the book, I was like, ah! You know? So good. Look at this dog. Max, you're famous. As you can see, Max like ripped his sweater. As you can see over here, it's all fucked up. Max, why'd you do it? Now, I don't know how many people in the chat have ever had the experience of petting a dog while they're on a lot of drugs. I highly recommend it. This is what I like to do on the weekends, is I like to lay in bed and watch movies and or television, do some drugs, and then Max like lays on top of my body, and I just pet this dog for like 4 hours straight, and it's a great time. So if anyone needs therapy, you know, I suggest doing that instead. So, but that's my opinion. My goddamn fucking headset is. I'll worry about that later. I got pens in my hair. I don't know if anyone. I don't know why I did this, but I thought it would be funny. But yeah. Yeah, like fucking like look at this shit. I got like pens in my hair. Like a goddamn Christmas tree. I mean, just look at this dog. I mean, I'm just like, I mean, are you seeing this shit? Like, I don't even know what to say. I really don't. Like, this is what this show has become. It's just me pointing at this dog every day and going, are you seeing this dog? Max, are people seeing you? I mean, nice. Max, you ripped your sweater. The snow's gonna get in. I'm gonna have a fucking laughing fit. God damn it. Anyway. I don't know how to sew. I've never tried. So. Goddamn Bobby. I'm just fucking around here, by the way. Like, I got this fucking situation going on where my headset is like trapped under my chair. And I... Look at this dog. Max, do you want to come uppy? You gotta get Mumpy, Max. I mean, I swear to God. No, don't walk away, you fucker. Max, get over here. Oh, he's been activated. Is that a tennis ball? Is that a tennis ball, Max? Let me see it. I want it. Come Uppy! Uppy, Uppy! You want it? It's right here. Anyway, that's all I got, yo. But thank you all for watching. I don't know why people watch this. I don't know. I don't know what the value is of watching this program. Maybe it's I don't know, morbid curiosity. But I'm gonna go take Max outside and we're gonna go play tennis ball. It's one of our favorite games. It's called tennis ball. And it involves throwing a tennis ball and every once in a while catching it. Every once in a while. Not often though, because Max has one really bad eyeball, so he doesn't catch it often. It's possible I might do a Twitch stream later. I don't know, so feel free, whatever, with that information. I got some chapped lips here. It's some really, it's a problem. See this shit? Little chapped lip action. Ugh. It's getting cold. It's getting cold. Anyway, everybody, I know I'm doing that stupid fucking thing, but I can just like sit here and go like, and then like at least like a couple people will watch it, or just strange. Like what are you doing with your lives? You have nothing better to do, right? You can't like listen to a fucking other better podcast. You're just sitting here watching me going like. This is content. Look at this. I got these colored fucking G2s. Look at this. Okay, this is content. Look, see? You can just... And then now look. My face is amusing. What the hell? First of all, I'm extremely insulted. Second of all, what the hell? What the fuck? Can you believe this shit that I have to deal with? Would I recommend those G2 pens? Oh, fuck yeah, I would. Can you believe this? Every single day, I have to wake up and deal with harassment, such as, and I quote, "Your face is kind of amusing." How is it amusing? I'm a human being. So anyway. That's all I got. I don't know. I'm just...